Welcome to the No Balls Podcast. I'm your host, Patrick McDonald, with me co-host Sheldon Kaufman. Today, we're doing a bi-weekly recap for the NBA season. Not super excited I am this time, as you can tell by the thumbnail that's going on right now. We got some tough conversations. We got some more fun conversations than the obvious one ahead of us. But before we get started, Sheldon has a trivia question for me, and I'm going to try and get it right. What we got today?
All right, Patrick. How many NBA teams were created this millennium? And can you name the three teams and their
So it's
previous
three.
names and their previous names?
Yeah.
Oh wait.
Well,
Oh
you said it
oh
out
no.
loud.
Oh,
Freudian slip, Freudian
no.
slip. So it's three
That's bad.
teams that were created this millennium. Ooh, okay. So, Vancouver Grizzlies into Memphis Grizzlies. Is that one of them?
That's one.
Okay. New Orleans Hornets into New Orleans Pelicans.
Yes.
And then the Charlotte Bobcats into the Charlotte Hornets.
You
Is there a
missed one.
secret? There's a secret fourth one?
Wait. Yeah. This says that the the Bobcats becoming the Hornets wasn't one. So this is the secret fourth one.
Is it just like, is it the Bobcats just becoming a team in
It's not.
2003?
That is not one.
Wait, so there's been another. Oh, OKC Thunder becoming
Yes.
from the Superstars. Okay.
Yeah. Kind of kind of messed up that trivia question.
Yeah. Well, there's just a secret fourth one.
That too.
Yeah. Well, at least I got all four still. I actually did a research paper on that, so I should have. Good thing it has stuck with me. Uh, but yeah, we're starting talking about the NBA season in total, but really the most, couple recent weeks. What do we want to start with for this uh awesome episode?
Yeah, I mean, I guess we can start off a little dark, but it's the most recent news that we have had, and that's that Jimmy Buckets is out for the season with a torn ACL, huge blow to this Golden State Warriors team, who has been hot lately. Pat, um, give me a second to pull up their recent win streak, but I believe they're doing very well over their last 10, 7-3, and on a 4 game win streak. Um, the offense has been looking better. Jimmy Butler was hitting a lot of threes last night. I believe he at least had five or four threes and 16 points against a decent Heat team, who I think is around the middle of the pack of the East. And yeah, 17 points. He's averaging 20 points per game this season, Pat, which is the highest that he's had in a couple seasons. So huge blow, right? And I guess a question I'll pose to you is, does Kaminga finally get a run now amongst the trade rumors? So I guess this is a two-parter because Kaminga also demanded a trade.
Publicly, yeah. Finally, right? Um, I mean, he'll get more run. Um, and my quail with Kaminga has always been he's always been in the situation to scale down and become a contributing role player, but he's never been willing to do it. And now we're going to see what we saw last year at the beginning of the year, where Kaminga is going to have the opportunity to be more of a featured player on the team. And with how Steve Kerr sets up his rotations, that's really the only way Kaminga's going to play is if he's a player like significantly featured in the offense. If not, he just doesn't play. And uh, he's finally going to be back in the rotation. I think it's good for him, obviously, and it's good for the Warriors. Like, this can significantly increase his trade value. Um, all right, do we want to talk about how well we think this could go with Kaminga? Because I think that's a different conversation.
Yeah. So my thing is, when he's going to play, is he or is management now looking like, okay, now we definitely have to hold on to Kaminga because we have this similar type player like him being Butler being a forward, Kaminga being a forward. So a guy that plays that position, a guy that they've, I don't know if been high on is the right word, but a guy that they see as a valuable asset because they've yet to let go of him for so many years. Um, like if he does come out producing, my personal feelings is that they'll try to keep him. I don't know with the recent news, but he did demand the trade, so it's hard.
Did
I guess
you?
that answers your question.
Yeah. Did you see that they're still looking to potentially just trade him for DeMar DeRozan?
Yeah, that'd be very, very weird.
It's. I think if I'm Golden State, that's fine.
Because
Because
at
they,
least you can run play for Demar, run more sets for Demar and stuff like that.
yeah, and even with DeMar, like you have the question about spacing on with him on a contender. I think if we've seen anything historically, it's that like Steph Curry teams don't need to be super well spaced around him. The offense will still function fine. And like DeMar DeRozan can be a great like floor raising uh bench, not saying he comes off the bench, but operating the second unit type of guy. So that's a good fit for them. I think it's a little bit more safer for than Kaminga for them to like be a good team this year to have. DeRozan, I just don't like. Are they still gonna now that Jimmy's out? Do we think they probably still operate on Steph Curry's timeline, right? Like I would think.
I mean, do they have another choice at this
Not,
point?
not really.
Um, And another thing I was thinking about is like how much do the Grizzlies become buyers now, or the Mavs potentially at the deadline? Because these are teams that with the big blow to Golden State, they are only a couple games out. Yeah, here we go, Pat. Thank you. And see that Jazz team is only about 5 games out of the West play-in, but like more, I'm thinking the Grizzlies with a lot of rumors swirling. John Morant, JJJ. Let's see what's going to happen here because I feel like now a John Morant trade is increasingly more likely, and we can talk about that too, to where a suitor might be for him. But trade Ja, get some contending young players, and make a push for this plan that now is a little bit more open with the Warriors taking a huge blow.
Yeah, seeing this happen, like I think the bottom of the West is pretty wide open now, and like we have not foresaw, but something we kind of called out that the Lakers were not really that great of a team, and they're starting to slip a little bit in the standings. And now if the Warriors could potentially start to slip, the Suns might be the team that is most likely to secure avoiding the play-in, but like any team, like Portland or even the surging Clippers could end up avoiding the play-in this season. I
Yeah,
think it does a lot for the West now that Jimmy Butler's out because the Warriors were looking really good in the past couple weeks. So
yeah, 100%, Pat. And this Blazers team has been doing it without Denny Avdija for the past three or four games, if I'm not mistaken. So there's something definitely cooking in Portland. And Drew Holiday's starting to play. And is what's the Dame situation? Is he coming back for the playoffs potentially, or is he waiting? Is he out completely this whole season?
Drew,
No, Dame.
oh Dame, okay, oh yeah, no,
No, I
Dame's
think
just
Drew
out for the
Holiday's
year.
been had his first game back the other night, or over this bye
He's been
week.
back for a couple weeks now, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Dame's just out for the year. They've been
Okay.
very like coy
Yeah,
about
but
him
still, I
ever
mean
playing.
this Blazers team now is on the up and coming, and especially with the way Denny Opti has been playing. Uh, it's interesting. And man, what about the Suns team? Like, hats off to Devin Booker, Grayson Allen, who dropped 40 the other night, um, absolutely sparking it from three. Uh, Mark Williams has been giving them good minutes from the center position. Dylan Brooks always goes crazy randomly. So, solid Suns team. Um, Now looking like you said, they have a chance to avoid the play-in now with the Warriors taking this huge hit.
Yeah, I think Denny also just recently came back for okay, Denny played in their 118 game, but he missed 2 games before that. So Denny is now back. So yeah, I mean, still they won 2 of those games on their 3-game win streak without Denny Ofdia. Um, I think Portland's pretty impressive. You mentioned Phoenix; they're just such a tough regular season team. They play hard all the way up and down their roster. Jordan Goodwin, love Jordan Goodwin. Yeah, he's just such a great regular season basketball player, even if uh, like he will do some very goofy things offensively from time to time, and like Oso Ighodaro is a very talented big man who like he's just how in the get here we go in the
Yeah.
landscape of
Yeah.
backup bigs in the NBA. Like, what do we think Oso Ighodaro ranks? Like, he feels like one of the best ones when I watch him on a night-to-night basis.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, I remember specifically doing the Oso Ighodaro draft, like draft prep because of that push shot, and that's something that he still has in his game today, and it's really crazy to see the little push floater. He's been an amazing big that I. There's no way me and you thought that he would be able to play at this level, especially so soon in his career. Second year out of, I cannot remember where. Maybe a Big East school. Can't remember where he went.
It was Marquette.
Marquette. All right, close enough.
Yeah, him and Tyler Kolek together and Cam Jones.
Oh,
Yeah,
and that is a squad.
that was quite the squad. All three lefties. All three lefties. Um, but yeah, Oso, like, he's a backup big who averages almost 2 assists a game, and he doesn't miss shots. And I think even right now, like, their best playmaker is Devin Booker or Colin Gillespie. Like, if Oso next to a like real high volume scoring point guard, I think is like it's not obviously all-star caliber, but it's like plus starting caliber center in the future. And like Mark Williams is good, and I think at the current moment, just defensive purposes wise, you probably do need to start Mark Williams, but I think they just have 2 awesome centers there in Phoenix. And like Oso, how early, like how many? I guess you didn't not intentionally danced around the bullet, but how many backup centers do you think are better than Oso?
I don't know. Not too many. Not
He's
too many.
awesome. Naz
Yeah,
Reid,
he's been a happy surprise. Yeah, Naz Reid.
Steven
Yeah,
Adams, maybe, right? He's awesome. Whoever the Mavericks technical backup is, usually it's Gafford.
yeah.
But other than that, like, of course, we spent 2 minutes talking about Oso, and we barely mentioned Devin Booker, who's been awesome. But I'm sure we'll mention him on another slide. Do you want to talk about number 10?
Clippers.
Yeah, have they escaped the Philadelphia range?
I think so. And it's because of one man, and that's Kawhi Leonard. I mean, he's been on an absolute burner. I actually just watched the kind of last 5 minutes of the Wizards Clippers game. James Harden is incredible still, really balling. Jordan Miller, two-way player. He's been recently like getting some solid minutes and scoring a lot of points. He's a bucket getter, so that's always good to have. Uh, yeah, Big Zoo. Interesting to see what they'll do with him because I think they're undefeated in games that he hasn't played in. Um, so should be interesting to see. We talked about the Celtics a lot earlier on. I think maybe those rumors died down a little bit, but we could still see maybe a team needing a center, potentially trade for him. But Clippers have definitely been a lot better. John Collins has been playing better, but Kawhi Leonard has been the main factor for sure.
Kawhi Leonard is currently at a career high in scoring average right now. And his steals per game is at, obviously we talked about how steals per game can be a little bit noisy from time to time, but it's at a career high level as well. He's just so awesome right now. Um, I feel like he's in that Kevin Durant type of player range where it kind of doesn't matter what's around him. Kawhi Leonard is going to go out there, not feel super involved in the offense, but get his 28 points. And you'll be like, huh, never really saw Kawhi Leonard do anything bad this game. He's just, this is not the best he's ever played because he had such a great peak in San Antonio and in his one Toronto season. But this is super special to see a guy bounce back to this degree late in his career. How We were very high on the Clippers going into this season. Are we feeling vindicated? Are we feeling like this team will get up to the sixth seed and not make us look stupid?
Definitely vindicated a little bit. Like this is a team that was looking like OKC was about to have another top 10, top lottery pick. Um, and now they're only 7 games out of that 6th seed. Uh, Maybe the bad start hurts them just enough where they're at the 7. But I mean, yeah, I feel like this is a team that can definitely do it, especially when their guys are balling, and everyone's healthy and on point. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, you see 8-2 in their last 10, so
their
it,
one thing
and
against
they're
them is
always going to be playing with urgency.
they have to, right?
Yeah,
They're just 6.5 behind Phoenix, I think is my one concern with them. Uh, it's just like even when the Lakers do what we think is inevitable in them to regress a little bit, there's still multiple teams that the Clippers need to jump. Any other teams in this Western Conference that we want to talk about?
the Nuggets. I mean,
Yeah,
their ability to be able to win and really just steady the ship with Jokic being out has been incredible because everyone knows how much Jokic affects an offense, and the fact that they're able to win like games against some really good squads and come close against other good squads is just really telling about how deep this Nuggets roster is. And how about Peyton Watson? I mean, this is a guy that we've been
hmm
talking about a little bit on the podcast, and he's having his breakout year. Really just getting it done offensively. We already know how good the defense is, but his offensive game has definitely stepped up. Guys like Jalen Pickett has also been doing really good for them. Spencer Jones, that two-way guy, has been huge. He stepped up in huge roles. Aaron Gordon's been getting healthy, and Jamal Murray is playing like an all-star finally.
yeah. They have now since Jokic has gone down, they've evened the sample size just about in minutes where Jokic is on and off the floor. And it's down to only a 16-point swing versus before it was like a 30-point swing towards the start of the year, maybe a 25-point swing. Their defense is actually worse when Jokic is off the floor. And the offense has gotten up to a respectable 115 offensive rating when Jokic is on the bench. It is also a 130 when he's on the court. 115 is very respectable. You mentioned Peyton Watson. I think during the offseason show, I said this is a guy who's eventually going to get an $100 million contract. Over his last 11 games, he's averaging over 22 points per game, and he's shooting close to 40% from three. I mean, it even started before Jokic went down. He had multiple, like, near 30-point games. He's just been so awesome. And is it like very relieving? I guess the answer is definitely yes, that he's doing this amidst Cam Johnson having almost a season of hell where he started the year not making shots and then he got hurt. This how serious do we think the Nuggets are now that they have this Peyton Watson thing?
I mean, they're right where they should be. They're the third best team in the West. They're going to be competing like that. This is a team that I think now has the pieces to maybe beat a team like the Thunder or the Spurs, especially when you're going to be have Jokic out there just having all those more weapons to pass to, right? With now new shooters popping up all around the court for them. Their defense is still capable, and if Jamal Murray can also continue to play like this, that 1-2 star or that 1-2 two-man game coming back is going to be the staple of the Nuggets offense, and it's going to be running really effectively.
Yeah, and we are definitely going to talk about Jamal Murray in a separate slide. We just had to mention how awesome Peyton Watson has been because it is almost unheard of for a guy to take this big of a leap just randomly in the middle of his fourth season. And I mean, he's going to get such a big bag this offseason. We'll talk about the East. We skipped over them at first, but here we are in the Eastern Conference. There's an elephant in the room. You can poke at the elephant. I don't care.
Yeah, it's the Knicks. The Knicks, man, they've been struggling 2-8 in their last 10, and it feels like ever since um, the cup, ever since that Christmas Day Cup, everything's just kind of gone downhill. It's been the defense mainly, just been lackluster from the Knicks. Not a lot of effort. Just took a big loss to the Mavericks, and Najee Marshall got whatever he wanted in the paint on Cat, drawing fouls constantly, and Max Christie like popped off. Though is the least to say. They had a CC, Moisa CC. I
Mhm.
don't really know too much about him, but almost had a double double, 15 and 9 for the Mavs. And the Knicks are just uh, they're struggling, and Pat, I'm sure you'll speak to it more, but also they've kind of gone cold from behind the arc as well. Um, and I think a lot of the questions right now is can Cat and Brunson really do this, especially in this new Mike Brown offense? And Pat, I'll let you have the floor with that.
I think you hit the hammer on the head a second ago by mentioning the shooting. They were shooting over 38, almost 39% from three before, up until Christmas, right? After the Christmas Day game, they are shooting around 35% from three. The shots are not going in. It's leading to a lot more transition opportunities. And I'll say the defensive stuff, schematically, they're playing defense about the same way that they were before. They're not playing as hard as they probably were earlier in the season. Um, I gave Mikal Bridges, I don't know if I actually did it on here, but I gave him his flowers for the step forward he took at the start of the year defensively, really bouncing back. I haven't seen that until the second half of that Mavericks game the other night, where I really was like, Mikal Bridges is out there playing his ass off. Glad that it's come back. It's been missing for over a month now. And the 7 foot, 265 pound elephant in the room is Karl Anthony Towns, who, and we'll talk about it in another slide here in a second. He's playing terribly. Like it's not
We're just playing no games.
it's not just disappointing. Like it's actually bad. He's averaging like 21 exactly points per game. His true shooting is exactly league average, which if you know anything about true shooting, centers centers will typically be above league average from just being a center. And Karl Anthony Towns is league average. And that's not even to mention anything that he does defensively, which is all a train wreck. And I hate to like boil it all down to these simple things because I think Karl Anthony Towns is one of the most complex basketball players maybe ever because I think his most valuable traits don't show up in the box score and his most destructive traits also don't show up in the box score, and I don't know how many players we can say that about ever. But I really think right now if teams were not guarding him like a great shooter, Karl or if teams weren't guarding him like a great shooter, Karl Anthony Towns would bring nothing to the table right now. Because outside of him destroying the Hornets, destroying the Miami Heat once, and destroying the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Atlanta Hawks, those are his four good games this season. If you take out those games where
Got
he
a
was
big
near
sample size to work with there, huh?
those four games where it's annoying that I can remember them off the top of my head. If you take those four games out of his season where I think he was near 40 in every single one of those games. He's averaging like 18. It's one of the worst defensive centers ever, and it's just like a $60 million Nikola Vucevic right now. Like this is not good. Um I don't know. I don't know what to do about them. They're listening to trade offers now, and you sent me one earlier, and I would
This
be
is one I just cooked
surprised.
up in class.
I would be surprised if they could get that for Cole Anthony
Yeah,
Davis.
yeah. I think Santi was a little crazy. Santi may have been too much.
Yeah, I'll also after this I'll show you the one that I made
Good,
within the
good, good.
hour.
Within the
Yeah, I'll show you that one. Other than that, the team shooting has fallen off. I really think the offensive system looks great. Um, from time to time, it feels like they will not touch the paint enough um, for stretches at a time, but it's not really an issue when like they have Brunson and OG Anunoby on the floor. Those guys will get a ton of paint touches for us, and it I think it's more or less going to be okay. But right now, everything just looks like it's crumbling, and if it doesn't turn around, at least a little bit shot making wise, I think the defensive stuff is just you start making less shots, teams get in transition more. You catch a week where teams are just killing you from three, and you feel like you don't know what's going on, uh, and that's all amplified by the team just playing 75% instead of 100%. So, uh, how concerned are you as a non-biased fan?
I'm a little concerned because for the Knicks, their two biggest superstars are also two big liabilities on defense, and with that happening, it doesn't matter how many points you score if you can't stop the other team. It worked last year because Cat was playing at like uh, MVP top 10 top type of level, right? So you guys could get away with it. You guys could score. The defense was still there though, wasn't as they were able to hide it. I think a lot better, especially we saw in that Celtics series with the impressive win, taking the Pacers to 7 games, right?
6 games.
6 games. So back then it was sustainable. I don't know how sustainable it is now, and I think obviously if you look at the two superstars, Jalen Brunson has the keys to this team. So um, unless Cat can figure it out soon, um, I don't know. We might be seeing him in a different jersey, which is crazy to think about.
And I'll say too, just to add on to the defensive thing, because the defense has taken a slight step back this season. Um, just more experimenting lineup wise so far, and like especially over like the last couple weeks of December, is I think is a huge reason for the lineup, the defensive rating taking a step back, along with like there's times when we were hurt and we had to run a lot of like Brunson, Clarkson, Tyler Kolek lineups, and those are just going to be terrible defensively. Like no matter who else is on the floor, those are going to be terrible. And last year,
Real
Mitchell
agreed.
Robinson didn't play much, and in place of him, it was like Jericho Sims, who has NBA level rim protection and no other basketball skill whatsoever. And then this year, like Mitchell Robinson has just been he's been okay at protecting the rim. From that was something that I think they were banking on a little bit, and he's just okay protecting the rim. So um, I don't want to talk about this team anymore. They're pissing me off. Please lead me somewhere else.
Yeah, I think an interesting thing storyline to look at is, although Trey Young wasn't playing in too many of the Hawks games since he's been traded, Pat, they are 2-4. The Hawks are 2-4, and I don't know if you were watching. Of course, I wanted to get in spirit, celebrate the MLK Day, so I turned on some basketball. Great lineup, great set of games they had. Uh, and I'm watching the Bucks Hawks games. Hawks have some crazy uniforms, really nice. The court is awesome. And then they went 1 for 22 from three in the first half, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, they're shooting bricks!" Because it was insane. I mean, the Bucks team was hot. Um, I guess this is kind of a segue to both that 10-11 seed. Bobby Portis, one of the best 3-point percentages in the NBA, shooting 47%. That very much surprised me. Um, you know, Giannis looked good, but yeah, the Hawks have been struggling a little bit, and Jalen Johnson, he's been NBA media, NBA Instagram has been kind of giving him a very hard time, and he's been struggling a little bit. So, Pat, how real is this slump? Is it just too early to tell, or is it just a regular slump that teams go through throughout the season? Because, as I mentioned before, Trae Young wasn't playing too much before he even got traded. So,
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned like Jalen Johnson's been in a pretty real slump recently, and like that's gonna happen from time to time from a 23-year-old who's leading an NBA offense. There's gonna be some inconsistencies there. I think overall, like we'll see. He probably does take a bounce back because he was really awesome to start the season. I don't think you play that awesome for 4 months and then 2 weeks of play and everybody will give up on you. Like I'm tentative. I think that's a large reason why they've struggled as of late. You mentioned the team as a whole just going completely cold. Those things happen from time to time. If I was the Hawks, I'm not really losing any sleep over what's happening. Obviously, it's annoying that your team's been losing, but I don't see it being something to get too worked up about at this point. I mean, even otherwise, like their expectations were kind of tempered going forward anyway, since they got off to such a rough start to the year. So playing team, right?
yeah,
Um,
unfortunately, I mean, I had him like top three, I think, in the preseason. So that really sucks. But well,
yeah, I think I had him a little bit lower. I think a little bit. But, I remember I really talked up their offseason because I thought their offseason was awesome because I think it really was. But Porzingis just haven't been anything for him like at all. But yeah, Onyeka Okongwu, I'm sure we've given him his flowers, but he's been pretty good. He does give you some rim protection limitations, but he's been shooting the ball really well this season compared to years past, and it's a pretty real part about his game. Just like Bobby Portis, who I think is leading the league in 3-point percentage. I think we mentioned it last episode talking about the 25 under 25 with Paolo Banchero, where it's like it's a nasty comparison. Or I was like, yeah, he could be a Bobby Portis 6-man guy. Except Bobby Portis is shooting the lights out right now. So out of that, and on that note, I guess I did want to shout out Josh Giddey because we didn't even mention him and explain why we wouldn't have ranked him. We wouldn't have ranked Josh Giddey, but shout out to Josh Giddey. That's all we're gonna give Josh Giddey. Um, yeah. Um, do we want to talk about Jalen Tyson and his twin brother? Are they twin brothers? Uh,
I don't
his
know if
brother
they're twins,
Jordan.
but definitely brothers.
Yeah,
Yeah, Tyson. I forget what game I was watching that he was playing, but it was the one that he dropped like 42. And he's a real baller and a real shooter as well. Really good stroke and plays really good defense too. And we talked about, or I kind of mentioned it a little bit when we talked about how this team was really struggling, and it was I said that he was really hard, like really he goes 100% all the time. So add that with the incredible scoring that he's shown and the defense, he's been balling out this season. And the Cavs are slowly steadying that ship. Maybe they're trying to like maybe their players are like, who cares about the regular season? Because every time we get the one seed, we just lose in the second round. So let's try it from this side.
yeah. I think that's key too, right? Like we kind of said, don't be too concerned about the Cavs, and they're starting to get it together. 6-4 their last 10. I think if you trace it back a little bit more, they're probably like 17-12 in their last 30. I guess 17-13 would be the real number, and then Jordan Tyson, do you want to guess what he's shooting from 3-point land right now?
I'm gonna guess 43%. Oh, damn. So he's up there
Just
with Bobby.
unreal numbers. And that 40-point game you referenced, I'm pretty sure, was a 39-point game against the Philadelphia
Yes,
76ers.
yes. Okay, yeah, that's right. He had a
So yeah,
really good assist to game it, like
yeah,
wraparound pass.
he as a prospect too, it was very obvious that he just had a little bit more in that area than you normally see with wing players. Um, do we want to talk about any other Cavaliers? Because we're making it seem like Jordan Tyson is gonna
Yeah, I
make
mean
the All
Donovan
Star team.
Mitchell with the sneaky. Should we pull up the All Star
Oh, it's on a
line
slide.
roster? Oh, okay, okay. So should I mention that or?
Go ahead.
I mean, sneaky All Star starter snub. I wouldn't say. I don't know if I would say snub, but surprising he's been left off the list considering how much he's been a starter. But yeah, the Cavs team struggling. I think it gives them a little bit more fire. Whenever Darius Garland plays, it's been looking a little bit better. Evan Mobley is still balling out of his mind. So um, yeah.
DeAndre Hunter
Oh,
requested a trade at some point, or
are you
maybe he's
serious?
maybe I'm misremembering this, but I'm pretty sure he's either requested a trade or been outwardly dissatisfied with his role. Uh, I'll get confirmation.
Really?
Um,
Because he did good in that same game. That same Cavs versus Sixers game.
oh wait, I'm definitely conflating this. It was that the Cavs have turned down
Okay, okay.
significant trade offers for
Yeah, I was
DeAndre.
about to say because he's been doing better for them. It'd be a little surprising if they decided to not do that.
Yeah, I don't know how I don't know who I confused him with that. It was somebody who should not be requesting a trade requested a trade. Um, maybe it was Kaminga. I don't know. Who I've confused him with. But yeah, I mean he's even I think it was a slow start for him, just like the rest of the team always is with the Cavs, and it's picked up as of late. Do we have any other Eastern Conference thoughts? Uh,
No, Pat. I might have um,
West.
one more quick West one for you, but yeah, I think
Shout
with
out,
the East, I'm all good.
shout out to the Hornets.
Yeah, yeah, I was about to say.
Good regular season team. What's the West thought?
Pat, after the last couple games, last week or so, we've seen the Rockets like significantly struggle to hit shots, not only from the field but from the line, from the 3 point line. Against the Thunder, they shot 33% from the field on 104 shot attempts, 29% from the 3 point line, and then again in a win against the Rockets or a win against the Timberwolves, they shot 46% from the field, 42% from the 3 point line. Are you concerned at all with like this team going into like a 7 game series against like the top guys, like the top dogs, even against the Timberwolves? Like, could you see this scoring kind of lull end up hurting them in the long run, or is this like again just kind of a 2 game stretch where things kind of happen? They also did blow a lead they did lose to the Timberwolves or not the Timberwolves, the Trailblazers back to back weeks in a row, and for similar reasons they just weren't able to make shots. Just wanted to get some thoughts on that.
With Houston, right? They've been a team kind of competing for a top offense all year, and we haven't necessarily like we've acknowledged that we do think the offense is going to be better and is much better this season than it has been in years past. But I mean, just taking a glance at their basketball reference, right? You don't even like need to go that in depth into it. You just look at their 3-point percentages. You like Tari Eason was shooting near 50% for like 30 games, and you're just like, okay, well that's not going to happen. Tari Eason's not that good of a shooter, and I think at one point Alperen Şengün was shooting like 45%. That's way down now. Um, they were riding very hot shooting wise for a while, and they're just not at that point anymore. Um, I do think that we expected them to be a good offense that really wins the possession battle by securing offensive rebounds and not turning the ball over. And I do think they still have that. Can the shot making disappear from time to time? Sure, but I mean, we talked about the Knicks who are shooting 39% from three. Their shots will disappear from time to time. I don't really. I think there is some question marks of okay, maybe this isn't like a great shooting team, but uh, as we get into the playoffs, it could be matchup based. Some teams will be able to take advantage of it better than others, but I'm not too concerned in like a grand. Every team can exploit this with the Houston Rockets because I just don't think they're that bad of a shooting team.
Yeah. And then Jabari Smith, he's like a guy that's more. This is not a 2 game type thing. He's really been struggling lately shooting the rock. Uh, whether that be from the 3 point line or even from the field, like his mid ranges have been off. This was a guy who, at least I kind of expected to have a breakout year. Especially being with KD, surrounded by all star talent, maybe getting lost a little bit, being able to shoot more, score more. He hasn't quite stepped up to it defensively. He's been really good. Are you like what's kind of the thoughts with Jabari Smith Jr.? Been struggling a little bit. He's been struggling a little bit.
Yeah, I hadn't really realized how bad it's been. Uh, he's shooting in the month of January, it's 10 games, shooting 28% from three. Before that, he was shooting about 38.5% from three. It's just yeah. And then you mentioned the just field goal shooting. He's shooting 34% from three, or the field. Yeah, I mean the shooting's way down right now. I would call it a slump. Even in his relative bad seasons and like the couple 2 years before this, he's had a relative decent floor of shot making. I don't think he's by any means like an elite shooter, but he's clearly a good one. I think it'll be a little bit of a bounce back. But he was, like you said, he was having a pretty real breakout season uh, before this, like absurd January that he's had, uh, absurdly in a bad way. So they're, believe it or not, they're going to need him to be better going forward. I don't think that's that hard hitting analysis that you would need to that you're hoping to hear, but they're going to need him to make more shots. You ready to move forward? We've alluded to it enough. We're talking about the All-Star game. The starters have been announced.
Beep, 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 beep.
Nice, awesome clip. We got Sheldon doing the NBA on Peacock. Uh, uh, theme song, I guess is the word. Yeah, jingle. Um, they've announced the NBA All-Star starters. We can review these. We can critique them. We can say why Neemias Queta should be starting over Jaylen Brown. Um, that's only a joke, by the way. Yeah, what do you have to say?
Well, I mean, I texted you, Pat, and I think this makes a little bit more sense though than the all. A little bit more sense, but lots of guards, right? Um, but I think they did it right. I think they have a good group of guys. Did you think there were any like significant snubs from this list?
Um, Anthony Edwards has been playing great. I don't know who I would have docked him and instead of maybe Luka Doncic, I don't know. I think the West starters are like really hard to crack right now. Donovan Mitchell's been really good. It was just like, are they going to put six guards in the starting lineup? Believe it or not, the guards are the players who get the most stats, so they're obviously going to get the more All-Star game appearances. We kind of talked about that last time with the All NBA teams, where it's just like wing and big players, a lot more of the things that they do to impact the game just aren't just displayed in points and assists. So uh, it's the All-Star game. Defense doesn't matter in this. Defensive players that never make the All-Star game. So yeah, I thought it was fine given how the All-Star game is voted. Did you have anybody who you were thinking?
I agree. I think they had a good list, like I said before. These are all guys that definitely deserve it. Been playing at high levels this season. Um, Nice to see some European uh, or some out of the U.S. talent, and then you got some U.S. guys representing too. So got a great mix there.
And that is how they're doing the game this year as well. I mean, they're electing it by West and East, but come game time, it'll be USA versus the world. Giannis and Steph Curry will be swapping spots, I guess, and the world starters will have five guards. Gonna be awesome. Uh, how do we feel about this not West versus East, USA versus the world version of the All-Star game?
I think it's cool. It's a nice little switch up, and at least it's not like what they did last season when me and you both got duped, and we thought it was a real draft of some sort when it definitely was not.
Not one bit in the slightest. Yeah. I agree with you. It's just it seems to me like they have no idea what to do with the All-Star game, so they punch out a new idea every like 3 years. It's like, oh, Giannis and LeBron will draft the teams, and we'll do East versus West, and they don't know what the hell to do with the All-Star game. What would you do with the All-Star game?
I don't know, maybe like put way more money, like a $10 million prize or something crazy like that, um, and just let them play. I mean, I like it better than like a target score or maybe like a 3v3 type deal. You do like a 3v3 tournament to 11, win some cash,
I
something
got
like
a,
that.
I got a maybe more controversial idea.
No.
Make the All-Star game not exist. Move the NBA Cup back a month. Have that be the midway point of the season, and have it to where the top seed of each conference at the midpoint of the season will guarantee a top two seed for the actual playoffs, and then the winner of the NBA Cup, saying this in a biased standpoint, will get home court advantage. They'll secure a top four seed in the playoffs. That's how
Secure
I
it
would do.
no matter what.
Yes,
Wow. That is an interesting take.
and just have, instead of having all-star games, it will be all NBA first half teams.
Ah, all right. Interesting. You can have like
That's
a you can have like a Duke 5 loss playoff team type situation.
five loss playoff team.
Like
Wait, what?
like if Duke would have
Oh,
made it with the 5, but instead it's like some like a team could just like completely just fall off and be trash, but still make it as a 4 seed.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Or like if the Warriors would have won the NBA Cup and now they're just in the playoffs without Jimmy Butler. That is a clear deficiency. Now that is also an idea that I came up with a couple weeks, not even a couple weeks, a couple days ago when I was thinking about, oh man, this All-Star game's pretty cool. I'm not gonna watch this game. Um, we're picking out reserves now. We'll start in the Western Conference. I will throw out a Jamal Murray. Are we gonna have Jamal Murray finally make his All-Star appearance? We
I
have
think,
7 spots left, by the way.
yeah, definitely Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray.
Anthony
Um,
Edwards.
yeah. Rudy Gobert. Does he do enough to make it, or will he cry once again?
See, now if we were talking about who have been the 12 best players in the Western Conference this year, I think Rudy Gobert might make that. But if we're
Maybe
talking
Denny
about,
Avdia.
yeah, if we're talking about the All-Star game, defensive players don't make the All-Star game.
True, true. So Avdia.
Yeah, I think Denny makes it. Um, that's 3 of our 7 players. Rockets. Are we letting in 2 Rockets?
KD.
It
KD
would
and
be
Sengun.
Katie and Şengün.
I'd be pretty happy with that.
And we got 2 more. Are we putting Chet in the All-Star game?
Yeah, you got to. You got to put Chet in, and then Braun. Does LeBron have to make it? Cookie.
I don't want to put him in there. Uh, I mean, Austin Reeves hasn't
Isn't
been
there like
playing.
an honorary All Star you can do? What about Keontae George? How
Ooh,
crazy would that be? Is
if
that too
Keontae
crazy?
George made the All-Star game over LeBron, don't let the Jordan fans find this one out.
Oh, hell no, he couldn't beat LeBron,
he couldn't
or he
be
couldn't
Keontae
beat
George for an
Keontae George.
All-Star spot. Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good one.
I
That's a
think
great one.
Kawhi. Yeah, I think I would pick Kawhi as well. So I mean we gave 13 players, and then there will be an honorary All-Star player if
Yeah,
there's not enough world players.
so LeBron will probably get in there.
Well,
Who was it last
LeBron's
year?
LeBron's American.
Oh, well, who was it last year?
Um, I don't think there was one last year. I think they matched it up fine. Like there was enough split. Um, let's just see. So there's 5 world players here. Denny Avdia would be another one. We just elected him. Jamal Murray would be another one since he's Canadian. Şengün would be another one, so that's 8. Uh, and I think the other players we said were all American. So yeah, because KD is American. Anthony Edwards is American. Yeah, Kawhi's American. All right, in the East, our 7 reserves. This one's a lot harder. Donovan Mitchell's the easy one.
Yes, Donovan D. Mitch. Um, hmm,
Can I say my next, I think, lock?
Cade. Cade's already in there. Jalen
Yeah,
Duren. Jalen Duren.
Jalen Duren was my next lock. I think he deserves to be there.
Yeah, so Jalen Duren for sure. Um,
This feels nasty. Michael Porter Jr.
Low key, why not?
But I mean, he's averaging 26 a game. I can't really make any like flukiness argument to it besides he's just shooting a lot. But yeah, Scotty Barnes I think is a clear lock for me. Does Toronto get an extra All-Star? Does New York get an extra All-Star? Does Boston get an extra All-Star?
Boston has. Who would Boston's other one be? Derek White?
Yeah, I think it would be Derek White or Jalen. Now, if this wasn't the All-Star game, I would say their second best player has been Neemias Queta. But I mean, Queta's been so good. Um, but I mean, Derek White's probably their most likely guy. If I had to pick an extra Nick, I would I would pick OG Anunoby handedly. Like,
Yeah.
unfortunately for Derek White, this was the year he like actually could have made the All-Star team if he did the normal Derek White thing, and he
Yeah.
hasn't done it.
No, he has not. He struggled just a tiny bit. Just not that D White All Star level. I don't know.
Joel Embiid's not played enough, right? Franz Wagner, he's finally back. I think Franz is kind of Franz is pretty safe to pick.
Did we say D
But
Book All Star?
oh, we didn't talk about him in the West.
Look, he might have to make
Feels
that.
rough. Poor Devin Booker, or like whichever the 13th West player is. Like they're probably like the 8th player in the East.
Yeah.
Like we still need 2 more guys to fill out this All-Star game. So we've got Scotty, we've got Franz, we got Donovan Mitchell, we got Jalen Duren. We named one other player that I can't remember. Um, Michael Porter Jr. Is Jalen Johnson? I feel like is a pretty safe bet.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Let's give it to him. Why not?
Jalen Johnson gets the All-Star nod. Like, are we giving Cleveland 2 All-Stars? Are we giving Orlando 2 All-Stars? I don't think so. Like,
I
could we?
guess.
Desmond Bain shooting 33%
Yeah.
from
Desmond
three.
Bain, Norman Powell.
All could be a decent. He went down for a little bit, right? I didn't make that up, right? Not too long. Norman Powell. Yeah, let's give it to Norman Powell. People wanted him to make it last year. We give Norman Powell the Heat nod this year. I like that. I like our East team. Um, so for recap, that was Donovan Mitchell, Jalen Duren, Norman Powell, Scotty Barnes, Franz Wagner. Um, Jeez, 2 more players. 2 more players. Who were they? Who did I say?
Desmond
Um,
Bain, Norman
no,
Powell.
Michael Porter Jr. and Jalen Johnson. Boom. I like it. I like what we made. West, we named like 10 guys who we think are deserving to make the All-Star game. It's a rough time. Rough time to be in the conference. Here's Jimmy Butler. I didn't know when to talk about it, but shout out to Jimmy Butler. MVP ladder. Now, I don't know if you have an MVP ladder ready for everybody, but I was going to give you the opportunity to throw it out there. The
Is
answer can
Jokic
be no.
still is he still on possibility? Like, can he still make it?
I think so.
This this hurts. This changes things.
You can defer
Can
till
Jalen
next week
can
recap
can Wemby? Yeah, we might have to. I gotta do some more digging.
because I will be deferring for the rookie graduations, not because there wasn't anybody worth consideration. It's I want 2 more weeks on. There's actually one player that I'm considering, or I guess 2 players that I'm considering right now who will we'll see if they beat it. As of right now, Cooper Flag, Dylan Harper, VJ Edgecombe, Conkin Nipple, uh, Cedric Howard, and Colin Murray Boyles are the graduates. So shout out to those guys. Yeah, I am pretty sure. Yeah, that is the last slide. Um, so unless you got anything else, any complaints about the NBA season, oh man, I did have a great rule change idea that I wanted to point out there. I guess it actually isn't that great. I have thought of it.
What
Um,
is it?
Now, people like to talk about the end of games and how long they're taking. Um, and I think those are valid things to complain about. But one rule change that I would like: you watch the game and a player makes a shot. 3 minutes later, the points can just get taken off the board because they go back and review and say, "Oh, it was after the shot clock," or "Oh, he was out of bounds secretly." And I agree with the shot clock. If we can go back and say, okay, the shot clock had expired, then I understand that getting taken off, right? Because it was after the shot clock. All right. So my thing is, if a player gets the ball out of bounds and they end up making the shot and it gets called back, that makes sense, right? We're getting more calls right, and that's perfectly fine. But for the viewer, it's a little bit annoying to see that happen, or to see that happen where points just randomly come off the board 4 minutes after the shot. But I think even the worst part of it is it can't work the other way. To where, okay, well, this guy actually wasn't out of bounds, but he was called out of bounds. But the officials let him continue playing, and suddenly, like, we can't take that off the board because 3 to 7 seconds went off the clock that wouldn't have actually gone off the clock if the shot was actually ruled out of bounds in real time. Does that make sense? What I'm trying to display
Wait,
here?
so when it goes out of bounds, what like are they taking it out because the guy stepped out of bounds before he shot it or something?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like if somebody's foot is on the line and they go back and 2 minutes later they're like, okay, we have conclusive evidence that they were actually stepping out of bounds.
Okay. And then you're mad or not mad, but your quarrel with it is
It
that there
can't work
shouldn't
the other
that
way.
shouldn't happen at all.
Yeah, because it can't work the other way versus at the shot clock, right? They got the shot off regardless. So the result of the possession was the exact same regardless. It's just, did they get the shot off on time or not? I don't like the fact that they can go back and take sideline points off because it doesn't work both ways in
Okay.
favor of somebody being in bounds versus out of bounds versus at the shot clock, right?
I see what you're saying.
They were
Because I'm
shooting anyway.
definitely a fan of like if there's a goaltending. I don't know how much they do this in the NBA, but I know in college for sure. When there's a goaltending, they'll wait till the next stoppable, and then they'll look back and review it. So I'm in favor of that. The out of bounds thing does is a little crazy though. I agree, but hey, um, what if they had that when KD's stepped 4 times out of bounds while touching the ball? I mean, I think the Rockets ended up winning that game no matter what. So
Yeah,
the ball didn't lie. I guess we wouldn't have those moments if it was like that. So yeah, I definitely agree, Pat. I get what you're saying, and I can get down for that.
my concern with the goaltend is I think the ball has to go out of bounds no matter what for a goaltend because a ball blocked into the half court is infinitely more valuable for the defense than the whistle being blown. So like if the center blocks the ball and it was really a goaltend, but they blocked it and then they go get a transition layup, it feels weird to then add points on 2 minutes later because, well, then why didn't you take the transition layup away too? Because that wouldn't have happened if you had called the goaltend. That's my one concern with the goaltend. And I somewhat like it, but maybe it's like, okay, the ball has to hit the backboard in order for you to review it because it was either going to go in or not go in. And if the ball's hitting the backboard, it probably doesn't end up in half court giving the offense a transition basket more likely than not. So I don't know. This we're griping the NBA's retroactive
Make sure we get
officiating.
that hour mark.
We do have to hit the hour mark. We didn't talk about Oso Ighodaro long enough to hit the hour. yeah, we'll talk more about Oso next week. 2K rebuild Thursday. I think we're in a good spot there. They've actually not been coming out on pace, so we're a week ahead in like having recordings. So we're gonna try our best not to spoil what's going on, but
And some interesting trades will be.
yeah, where we currently are, we're at the deadline for our second season, but the episode releases are a week behind, so it's on me. But yeah, we'll see you guys on Thursday.